designed a garden critter hummingbird feeder that is on a clearance price of $19.99. So we are saving $15 today by picking up on it. It's an easy payment of $6.66. And there's a lot of really great detail that has been put into this. So I can't wait to dive into it. I do want to let you know that we've got a couple colors that are available for you. So up top here, this is going to be the bumblebee. Next to that is the dragonfly. Then we have right here is the butterfly. And then I'll show you over on QVC.com. We also have two other options that we're going to show you in just a little bit. So know that there's also a butterfly, or I'm sorry, there's also a ladybug and then a multicolored one. Each and every one of them though, do you notice that old world pattern that's mixed throughout? So if you are like me and you have a collection of old world patterns, you can certainly go ahead and match this to it, which is great. I will tell you that my red, and I think the ladybug was the one that matches it. I have the red old world pattern and I use those dishes outside. So when we're eating on our deck, we're always grabbing our Temp-tations old world pattern to be able to use outside on our deck. This would match that perfectly. Okay, let's talk into why it is that we want this. I'm actually gonna grab this one down here and show you a little bit closer detail. And then Rocco, do you mind, can I grab that table again? I'm gonna place it right down onto this because there's a lot of detail that I actually wanna dive in on this with. There was so much thought that went into this, the design of this that I really wanna showcase everything. Okay, so we're gonna start off here. You're getting this S hook. So this S hook, it's oversized and it's easy for you to be able to take and put onto a shepherd's hook. Or maybe you wanna put like a nail into the corner of your deck and add this in. This is where you start. And I don't think we have it here in the studio, but everybody is going to get a magnetic character. So if you have the bumblebee, it'll be a magnetic little bumblebee that'll go on top of this. And so we'll show you that in colors here once we finish our tour. Then right here, this is a nice big piece of glass. It's gonna unscrew very easily, and then you're going to be able to fill it by simply putting that feed right in here. Now, if you wanna purchase a hummingbird feed, you can go ahead and do that. But I will let you know, I make my own. It's really easy to be able to create your own. There's a lot of recipes you can find online, including Temp-tations' own website will actually have that as well. Once you have it in, you'll screw it back in. Now, of course, you're gonna do it this way so you don't spill anything out. Then take a look at the detail here. Every single one of these holes has the perch for the hummingbird. Now, it's pretty cool when you see the hummingbirds are flapping, but if they want to take a little rest, they do have the perch here, so that was put into it. And then we also, where the feeder is, there's going to be that little metal flower that's going to help to correspond back to that color coordination. Why is that color coordination so important, though? The reason is because hummingbirds, they don't have any sense of smell. They actually will be able to identify this by the color. And that's the reason why these are so colorful, or any hummingbird that you've seen before in the past is so colorful. Why maybe if you've purchased hummingbird feed in that liquid, it's been red. It's because hummingbirds are attracted to that, and they know and remember where the location of that feeder is, and then they just keep coming back year after year after year. Let me show you your other options on QVC.com. This one is the bumblebee that we have, but there is a ladybug that is available as well. And so you'll see that ladybug there. Remember, each one of these does have that old world pattern throughout it. So the ladybug is gonna be heavy in red. It's gonna match back to my red one that I have. And then there is also a multi that's gonna have that dragon or that flower on the very top. So you'll see the bee and the ladybug and the flowers all mixed, of course, with that old world pattern as well. Then over here in the studio, the bee is our bumblebee that we have, and it has the mix of the yellow and the black. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking of my father-in-law and future mother-in-law that are big Steelers fans, and like that has their name all over it. This one in the center is our dragonfly, so it's gonna be green and blues and purples. And then over here is our butterfly, which will have blue, greens, and a little bit of that magenta red in it as well. It's a big size. It weighs 1.38 pounds, so it is lightweight, but I do want you to know that the glass is substantial to this, so that as you are using this, it is going to be something that you're going to be able to have that nice sturdy glass to. It's not flimsy. Right there is that magnetic icon that you're gonna see. That magnet is gonna match back to whichever one you have in the in your different pattern that you choose. So if you have the flower and the multi, it will have the flower pattern. If you have the dragonfly, that's what you're gonna see in your magnetic icon. The bumblebee is gonna have a bee, the butterfly a butterfly, ladybug will have the ladybug, of course. Clearance price on this is $19.99. For the thought and the quality of this, I really think that's such an incredible price. It should be $35, but we're saving you $15 today. If you're gonna hang it like we did, it's just a little nail that we actually put in the back, but let me take it off and show you how the shepherd's hook, that will work so well too. So if you do have that shepherd's hook, you can simply just hang it right on top of there if you would like to. You've got 4 different feeders along the side. Every single one of them does have a perch for the hummingbird to be able to go on. If you've never had a hummingbird feeder before, but perhaps you do have other bird feeders, treat yourself and get yourself a hummingbird feeder. Looking at a hummingbird up close is like one of the coolest things to see. I added a hummingbird feeder, I think it was 2 years ago. I don't regret it one bit. When that first hummingbird finds the feeder and then it comes back every single time, it's kind of crazy because hummingbirds are so petite and small, and honestly, they kind of look like an insect. And then you realize that it's a bird with their big long nose, that long beak. They're not gonna go after seed, they go after a sugary juice. And so the feed that you give them is going to be liquid. You can make it at home. You can use sugar to be able to do it. It's really easy to do. We have a recipe. I believe it's on .com or on Temp-tations website. So check both of those to see where that recipe is. Or you can just do a Google search and find any recipe where you can make it at home to be able to create it. But it's really easy to be able to have. I would refresh your hummingbird feed at least once a week, would be like the minimum. You may even want to do 3 or 4 times a week if you have a lot of hummingbirds that are coming to visit. But a refresh is definitely necessary at least once a week to do. And as far as that hummingbird season goes, as it's starting to get warm out, that's when you want to put it out. As it's getting into the springtime, and you can leave it all summer long, this is less than $20 to be able to bring home a gorgeous, amazing hummingbird feeder with a lot of the Temp-tations patterns that you already know and that you already love, so it's great to add to your collection. Here it is that you see it in that bumblebee. We do also have it in a ladybug form, and it's gonna have that magnetic ladybug on top. If you don't want that magnet inside, you can always put it on your fridge too. There's the multi, that's gonna have the flower on it. And then we do have in studio 3 other options. We do also have a butterfly, there is a dragonfly, and then of course that little bumblebee. The item number is M94345 to bring that home. Okay, well, if you're gonna be in the garden this summer, it is an absolute requirement that you have a hose. I feel like every garden needs to have a